PE is a little different because of COVID, because you have to social distance and you're wearing masks as well, so it's harder to hear the teacher when she's talking and you're all spread out, so you can't do the same stuff as last year because you have to like keep your distance.
For the next 6 weeks, remember you chose it at the start of the year, we're going to be looking at our gymnastics unit. So at the end of our unit, what I'm looking for is a gymnastics routine. So you will be performing a gymnastics routine to music to a theme of your choice. After you do your routine, you will then have to submit me your reflection. You'll be putting it onto Google Classroom, and as usual, I don't mind if it's going to be typed or if you're going to give me a voice note. So up to you, your choice. But I won't do that till after at the end of week 6. Okay girls, so we just watched the video and we saw a group routine. So we'll be performing something like that at the end of our 6 weeks, okay? So how are we going to get to that point? So what does a good routine look like? Who can tell me? Yeah, Ellen.
Timing.
Good timing, yeah. So there needs to be good timing. So people doing things at the same time when they're supposed to be. Okay, anyone have anything else? Yeah.
Teamwork.
Teamwork, yeah. Teamwork, you do need to work as a team. Definitely teamwork, important.
I co-constructed the success criteria at the start of the first lesson towards their goal at the outcome at the end, because I wanted them to know where they were going to, but it gives them more ownership of what we are all creating together. It's not just teacher-led, this is what I want you to do. So I guide them, but they help to create it. It also makes them focus as opposed to sitting there at the start of the class just listening to what I'm saying. They have to think and they have to try and come up with the criteria themselves.
Does everyone agree now that these are the things that we're looking for in a good routine? Yeah? Anyone want to add anything to it?
Patterns.
Different patterns, yeah. So different types of patterns as well. So you put patterns up there. Okay, so we have our success criteria for what we want at the end of our gymnastics block. So this week I'm going to put you into groups, okay? And you're going to stay in the same group until the end of week 6. So you're going to be performing with this group as well. Once you have your mat then, what we're going to do is we're going to sanitize. So I have buckets of wipes all around the hall. You're going to sanitize your mat. You're going to take off your runners and make sure that those sanitizing wipes go into the bin. Okay, so make sure you're maintaining your social distance. Okay, so we're going to start off, as I said, with our warm-up. Okay, so at each station, you will see that there are 5 task cards. I'm going to get everyone to take one of those task cards. That's your task card for the rest of the class. Don't go sharing it around. So you're going to read the task card that says warm-up, read through it. You're going to discuss for a minute or two together, create your warm-up, decide what it is you actually want to do for your warm-up, and then you're actually going to go ahead and do it. Okay, so today you're in 3 different stations, and over the next 3 weeks you're going to get a turn at each station. So up here this week we have jumps, down here we have rolls, and these 2 groups you're working on balances and inversions. Okay, so we're going to focus on our skills for today. You have some learning intentions on the wall, so I want the person who is the leader for the warm-up, so task card number 1, I want you to go to the poster on the wall and I want you to share the learning intentions for today with your group. Read all of them and then go back and just focus on part 1. Okay, so you should be finished the first part, so that you've looked at your first two learning intentions. So now we're going to get our leaders to go back to the board, and they're going to read the next part 2 learning intentions. Okay, so at this stage everyone should have their own skill, okay, and they should know how to do it properly. How do we know we're doing it properly? What it says on the sheet, exactly, what it says on the sheet, and that's your success criteria. So it's what a good one looks like, okay, just like we had on the board earlier on, what a good one looks like. So you now know your own one. So I want the leaders to go back to the sheets, read part 2, and we'll move on to the next part, the next few intentions, okay?
So first, you're going to demonstrate the skill to a person in our group. Then you are going to instruct the person how to do it using the success criteria that's on your sheet that you have. Then your peer is going to share feedback with you on how they think you can improve it using the success criteria that's on the task sheet.
The specific criteria that they had at their stations was on task cards, depending on what task they were doing. And I find that helps because you might, if I was to just vocalise them at the start, they forget half of them, so they can actually keep referring back to those success criteria for that skill. And they can use them for feedback if they're showing the other groups, instead of them trying to remember 2 or 3 things. It's all written there for them, and they remember all the features of that skill, the good features.
So, to do a good bridge, you have to keep your arms shoulder width apart. You have to ensure you warm up your shoulders to provide good shoulder flexibility. You have to avoid overarching your back. You have to push through your shoulders, press your legs straight, and keep your feet flat on the ground.
Alright, your chest should be held up and your core should be tense. Have one leg planted on the ground, raise your other leg behind you. Keep your knees straight and your toes pointed on the raised leg, and keep your arms straight to your side and fingers pointed.